Hey, listen to this. Quote, I was yelling my dad wasn't dead. A woman's father was found breathing after Clearwater medics pronounced him dead. So I guess my hot tip, let me be very clear. I have a lot of respect for first responders, as you know, whether you're a police officer, a firefighter, unless you try to pull a, twisted back wambuki after a turkey fryer fire. But listen, I've got
Other than that,
I've got a lot of respect for police officers, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, you name it. But the hot tip of the day here on the MJ Morning Show would be make sure the patient's actually dead when you pronounce them dead and that they're not still breathing.
So I didn't know paramedics could call a death.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, yes, you can.
I thought like you wait for like a doctor or something.
You never seen them do it in the ambulance?
You can time of death. I mean, absolutely. If you're trained, two paramedics
You lost them, guys.
working with the Clearwater Fire and Rescue Department have been suspended because they did pronounce a man dead last week, but then they saw that he was breathing. Yep, they said that two of these medics from Station 47 went to a call to a home in an unincorporated part of Pinellas County last Wednesday after Thomas Maxwell, he was the victim, apparently had a cardiac arrest episode. His lips were blue and he was cold, but I was doing CPR and my friend was there and she was doing chest compressions. According to his daughter, Phoebe Maxwell, told Channel 8, his chest was going up and down, and he was making noises, so his lungs were working.
Yeah, that's usually the sign of breathing.
When medics arrived, Phoebe said they quickly checked her dad's wrist for a pulse and told them he was gone. I'm like, he's still breathing.
Sorry, kid, we lost him.
He's like, no, ma'am, he's gone. That's just his body releasing gases. After the medics left, a Pinellas County Sheriff's Office deputy went to the home to investigate Maxwell's death, noticed that he was still breathing. The dude is still, what is going on here? This is rare. I can't believe that this would, all right, if you're an EMT, if you're a paramedic, I would love you to call in right now. And you can remain completely anonymous. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to talk about what agency you work for unless you want to. But how do you make sure that somebody really is gone? I mean, this guy's chest is moving. Shouldn't you be a little more careful that they left?
That's just gas, ma'am. Gas. Over and over and over again.
The chest moving is a sign?
All right, let's go. If we can find an EMT, paramedic, first responder, firefighter, I would love to hear your take on this. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And remember, this is an anonymous call if you choose. You can remain anonymous. But, man, this is crazy. Largo fire and rescue crews were then called to the home, and then this guy Thomas Maxwell, was rushed to the hospital. Upon notification of this incident, we immediately removed both fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care. In conjunction with the county's medical director, Clearwater Fire Chief Scott Ehlers said in a statement to News Channel 8.
I think I have to agree with some kind of retraining.
The two medics who initially responded to the call were placed on administrative duty and were clinically suspended by the Pinellas County EMS Medical Director's Office. Both the Medical Director's Office and Clearwater Fire and Rescue are looking into the incident. On behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions and the inactions of our crew during this incident, according to Chief Ehlers. We have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed. According to the preliminary review, these two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve. As of Monday, Phoebe said her dad was still in intensive care and was seeing a speech therapist for slowed speech. He's alive, though. That's crazy. All right, we got a paramedic on line one. Hey, Kevin, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Kevin.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, were you aware of this story?
Oh, we were actually just talking about it at work this morning at the station right before I left.
All right, so what's the take? What do you guys think about this?
It's pretty pretty bad, actually. That's not something that would normally take place. Normally, when we get called to a non-breather, we go in, whether chest compressions are being done or not before we get there. It takes a couple of seconds to get the monitor and everything set up. So I usually instruct the other EMTs and medics to do chest compressions, just in case while we get everything set up, just to give them a fighting chance,
Now, are you in a local county or city, or do you want to say basic location or no?
I'd prefer not to. Everybody pretty much knows me.
Okay.
Where I work.
All right. So I think you'd agree that this is being talked about probably at every fire station in the entire Tampa Bay area and probably across the state. Probably this story is going to be picked up across the country, and every crew is probably going to be talking about, hey, you hear about the story in Clearwater, Florida, where this patient was pronounced dead by the EMS. They left, and the guy's still alive. I mean, this is going to be this is a teaching moment, right?
I don't want to Monday morning quarterback anything. I don't know what the guys saw when they were there. I don't know what happened, but I feel like the guys that work for Clearwater are usually pretty jam up when it comes to their medical calls. Guys,
they're busy. Yeah,
it's their current job to go to Clearwater all the time, and for this to happen in Clearwater really blows my mind.
Yeah, it's weird. Again, this was two paramedics with Clearwater Fire and Rescue. They were called to unincorporated Pinellas County for this call. It just seems like this is just. I would love to know the experience level, how long these two paramedics were on the job. There's got to be just some weird circumstances here,
So, Kevin, this is not something that like a mistake that could easily be made. Like, oh yeah, it happens if you feel their pulse, and it's like this doesn't happen frequently, obviously.
No, it's pretty rare. I don't. It doesn't happen very often at all.
Well, Kevin, thank you for your service to the community that you serve.
Oh, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being a first responder. We need folks like you. Have a great one, Kevin.
Yeah, you too, MJ.
All right, bye-bye.
The worst mistake you can make in that job.
It's pretty close. It's one of the worst.
Oh yeah, he's gone. And then they leave, and the guy's still breathing.
Wait a minute.
And they got to call. They got to call a different paramedic.
Did they put him in a body bag or something?
My God, no.
Thank God.
Anonymous is in Tampa. Hey, Anonymous, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning, MJ.
What's your take here?
Well, these guys couldn't have been with Clearwater very long. I mean, that's a complete rookie mistake. First thing you do is assess the patient when you get there.
Oh, and you are a former firefighter EMT, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's what my screen says. Go ahead.
So you assess the patient when you get there. Now, whether they're breathing or not, due to family being there, you automatically put them on the stretcher and go. Work the patient on the way to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, if you can't revive, you call the medical director. The medical director calls it. I mean, that's just, I can't believe they even left the guy there.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy.
Then they call Quincy ME.
Is that procedures? All right, he's dead. We're leaving. See you guys. Don't you take something with you? Pick him up?
Yeah, so, I mean, they couldn't have been doing it very long.
What I heard is that you can pronounce, paramedics can pronounce death, but you have to put them on a cardiac monitor to confirm.
You heard
or
this
it's
from
obvious death.
you heard this from where?
Google.
You're reading something. What
You fall for Google.
Hold on. Is your brother texting you?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Come on. What are you reading?
No, he specifically said, "Do not talk about me."
You're reading a text from your
Yeah,
brother.
no, but I asked
your
him a
brother's
specific-
a fire chief.
Yeah, he says, Roxanne, everybody knows that we're related. Don't talk about me, okay?
Yeah, okay. So
And he's like,
Roxanne's
just don't
brother's
talk
a
about
fire
me.
chief in Pinellas Park.
Jeez,
Listen,
bro.
That's good information. Hey, thank you, Anonymous. Have a great one.
Thank you. You too, MJ.
All right. Sarah's in Tampa. Hey, Sarah.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I was an ICU nurse for a lot of years, and I have had where we declared a patient dead, and they were technically dead, and they did come back after we were doing CPR. I don't know what happened.
Listen, there are cases where you hear that in a hospital that they're doing CPR or they're doing chest compressions for like 45 minutes to try to revive a patient.
Right. Well, this patient was technically like dead for 10 minutes and came back, and I ended up discharging her from the ICU, and she was a little confused, but not
Zombie.
bad for being dead for 10 minutes. I was like, whoa. So those things do happen, but I would never leave a patient. That's a bit much.
That's the problem. That's the problem here. Sarah, thanks for the call. All right, Anonymous, another retired EMS. Hey, Anonymous, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Yeah, this is from the 80s in New York State. I'm retired, and if we pull up on the scene and they're doing CPR, you have to continue CPR no matter what anyone says. And as you're doing your compressions, if we have to actually get them on a stretcher at that time and continue that all the way to the hospital, we could, at that point, we could not call in a DOA.
Wow. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate the call. One more on. Look, the phone's exploded. And a lot of folks want to be anonymous here. All right. Call from Tampa. Hi, it's MJ. Good morning.
Hey, MJ. How are you today?
Doing well. Go ahead.
So, in Pinellas County, there's a rule that we work the patient 20 minutes before we call them or we call the doctor for discontinued efforts.
All right, so they should have worked this guy for 20 minutes. Instead, they cut out. Maybe they were going to Culver's or something.
You want to get to Culver's before they close.
You got to get a Butterburger or something and some custard.
Oh.
Yeah.
The primary equipment we have, a heart monitor, the cardiac monitor, that tells us exactly how the heart is, if it's working or not.
Yep. So they must have not even hooked the guy up.
I don't know the full story at all, but that's one of our main protocols is put the person on the monitor either, if they're dead for a couple hours or just on the cardiac arrest side of it.
Well, there you have it. And you're a current first responder in the Tampa Bay area. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Thanks for serving the area, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening.
But the craziest part is that the daughter is right there. Like, he's breathing.
Yeah.
I can see his chest going up and down.
No, he's just off gassing. He's just, that's just Froggy, stop. This is a serious story. Anyway, the guy's alive. He's in ICU, but the guy's still alive.
Dude, I knew a guy that worked at a funeral home, and he said sometimes the bodies...
They cut him?
They do funny things.